I'm delighted to be joined today by Veronica Sanchez-Vega, who's going to be talking to us about mission-critical networks. Veronica, over to you.
Yes, so this is a very exciting area because it allows for new revenue for CSPs, for telco service providers. It's about the next generation mission critical that will provide ubiquitous, always on and highly resilient services for governments to modernize their critical infrastructure, attend public emergencies and support military interventions. So right now, the situation is that all these verticals of mission critical, they have existing solutions. They are narrowband and they have been serving the purpose for many years, but now they are obsolete to address the increasing challenges and upcoming crises. So there is a big investment happening right now on these government and also some private entities to modernize their network, and this becomes a very good opportunities are high-value verticals for CSP to collaborate with these mission-critical customers. So what we are going to see today is we are going to be placed in a real wildfire scenario where we have the firefighters, police, they need to address these next-generation fires. And we'll see how 5G technology allows to protect what matters the most, that is saving lives. So the first use case, if we get into, so we are in this big forest, and where we have placed sensors, right? We are leveraging IoT technology and sensors all over, so it can be detected, a small fire to be detected really early, and we can do that with 5G standalone using RedCap devices, for example. It could be also done with 4G narrowband CAT-M type of devices, but this is more optimized. Of course, one value of 5G technology is that it's secure. All the protocols are encrypted, secure by design. So this is very important for all these operators. So if we move next, after the fire, and this is showing in the central command center of the public agency, safety agency. The next one, normally in the current networks, it will be the humans, that will go directly as the first responder. But in this case, we can leverage drones as first-time responder. They reach faster, and they can also be equipped with video to provide situational awareness that can be fed back to the agencies to really do a more target and a better actuation. So for that, the drone operation requires low latency. There is also a video that can be rendered with AI. It could be even improved with predictive models to analyze the fire spread. And we can couple that with, of course, 5G slicing, the right course, but also we could even have edge computing. We have a local UPF with an AI application near, so to provide the best-in-class quality of experience for these drones. So the video here, you see, is rendered to the general command center. And the next step is to warn the public, right? There might be people inside this fire. So we can, again, leverage 5G technology. Of course, all these forests are provided with macro coverage. These users inside, they have their cell phones. So we can have an application that leverages on network exposure from the different operators and, let's say, location in this network from the public safety that provides geofencing, so we can retrieve what are the IMSIs that are within the area and send customized alerts. And these customized alerts can even, let's say, be coupled with a drone to predict what are the safe itineraries. If we think about the recent wildfires, for example, here in Europe, many people were able to, like recently, for example, in Portugal, be able to be alerted, but they took the wrong itinerary, because these are next generation fires, very difficult to predict. So this is a really high value use case for public safety. And then, of course, the sensors, the video that will keep feeding the public agency staff to opt in and out, also predicting how the fire will spread. And the last use case is also of high value, is that we can have, let's say, all the different public agencies, departments connected to the same the same network to the same backbone in different APNs, having their own applications, and have a general command center and leverage, not only push-to-talk type of service, but a regular IMS, voice group call, EMBMS service that we have today in telco networks and are of high value for all these different departments to coordinate their action. This is now not possible because each department, they have totally different siloed solution and they don't interoperate. So here we have 3GPP network that is a standard, and we have a single network with different type of applications built on top. So, and the last one is, of course, we rely on coverage, but of course the base stations can be compromised. So it could be a fire. This, of course, display in the public safety command center, where there is an interface to the network management, no? With all the alarms and so on. So we can see here how they see, no? The base station is compromised. And then, no, we can send mobile radio units, either by trucks or even by drones. We have Ericsson radio offering is also evolving to provide all these special type of RAN solutions. So this is for the demo on the use case. I want to share a little bit on Ericsson portfolio. So Ericsson, we have working on mission critical, and we have reference for more than a decade. And we are keeping evolving our both radio core network portfolio, working with the overall ecosystem, partners, certifications with all these applications, devices. And now we are evolving our core network. So we have the 5G core portfolio, and we are providing to the operators and also, to these verticals for solutions that are carrier grade based on our existing 5G core dual mode portfolio, but industrialized, right? So they have like low cost to deploy and low cost to maintain. We have to keep in mind that these customers, they are working, for example, with Tetra system. They don't touch their system for a long time. So they need solutions that are easy to maintain and also a long-term partner to work with. So we have this integrated core solution that is a reference solution based on existing products. We have all the different functions from core network that are needed for this advanced use case is our single stack, cloud native, and we have many automation tools built on top, and we are for the same equivalent scope of like a project that is using product by product from the portfolio. Now with this solution, we are able to reduce by half the cost, for example, to deploy and also to life cycle. It's higher resiliency because, and with the redundancy that is needed by these customers. And of course, just to end, very important, it provides also the deployment flexibility that are needed, because we need to keep in mind this is a very different market. And one key aspect to consider at the beginning when engaging with public sector and this type of companies for a CSP is to understand the go-to-market model and the needs from this company. There are some verticals. And of course, this is for any vertical, for public safety, defense, utilities, rails, or digital space. They might want a dedicated network with their own RAN, but we see a more and more interest and increase to have what we call hybrid networks, where they can partner with a CSP and leverage their existing coverage. It can be like roaming, MVNO, or even share a RAN. So it really depends on their needs. This core network solution allows to support any of these models.
Well, thank you so much. That's really fascinating.
Thank you.